Please note that the following views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views nor the opinions of the Master Force Group, Free America Radio Network, our sponsors, our partners, and MFG is a private society, and nothing here is ever to be construed as medical or legal advice. And listen to the Forbidden History, prime time, 7 days a week, right here on therealpublicradio.net, because hidden beneath the sands of time lies the greatest of all mysteries. It's the Forbidden History, unearthed for yourself the secret truths that lie hidden just beneath the surface below our feet. What is it that the powers that be do not want you or I to know? Come and journey with us as we explore and dare to know, because it's all right here, coming your way 7 days a week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on therealpublicradio.net, Free America Radio Network, simulcast on youtube.com. Just look up The Forbidden History Series. 4 words, The Forbidden History Series. What they didn't want you to know, but we tell right here. You did tell your friends, didn't you? Well, get on that phone right now. There's still time to call your friends. And thanks for doing that.
Hello, welcome to our very special Basic Reset Health website on water hydration and nutrient regeneration. It is not just about drinking the proper amounts of water, but we also have to have the right amount of nutrients in the water to replenish our body's daily needs. As you will soon see in the main video, after you watch this short clip about making real money online with the Master Force Group. So instead of using the hit and miss learning process, why not work with a group of experienced and professional marketers, known as the Master Force Group, an international investment and radio broadcasting company, while you then immediately go right over to the center of this page and click on the blue button and watch the video on this remarkable water and nutritional product line called Basic Reset. Now don't sign up on this promotional website, but instead, call us for your free automatic sign-up and placement under one of our group partners, who is already in our lead share program called Downline Direct. It is people helping people. You are never obligated to promote or sell anything. Call us at 608-566-7295, that's 608-566-7295. Thank you for considering the Master Force Group and Basic Reset today. Get a 20% discount on your first order the moment you sign up.
And go to the website, ladies and gentlemen, 3Ws.healthwalk.basicreset.com. That's 3Ws.healthwalk.basicreset.com. And check it out, but don't sign up on that website because we put our friends under friends, our listeners that want to enjoy the product and benefit for their health. We put everybody on a 3x5 card. The next one at the top gets the sign up. And then the new sign up and the one who just got one goes to the bottom of the pile and it starts all over again in rotation. First come, first serve. And it's the same with Anovate. You need to check out colostrum, the most powerful food on earth, and I'm not kidding, okay? You go to 3Ws. Actually, it's the http:// hyperlink, http://healthwalk.basicreset.com. That's healthwalk. Not Basic Reset. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Anovate. That's already in late in the day. Healthwalk.anovate, ANOVITE.com. Healthwalk.anovate, ANOVITE.com. And check this stuff out, all right? When you support your health, you support this broadcast, and we work for you as well. So think about that. And if you have any comments or questions, give us a call, 608-566-7295. After the broadcast, early in the day, whenever you can, 608-566-7295. And thanks for supporting grassroots media and for supporting your health at the same time. It's a win-win. Coming to you live from Studio Z at the Lighthouse in Central Ohio and Free America Radio Network in the land of dreams, enchantments, and nightmares. It's the Forbidden History Series. Special tonight, Signs and Symbolism. We did a special last night on the Pirate Sea of legal words, as well as mortgages. And we also do the other lost writings, and we're going to start with the original gospel of Jesus the Christ. Just give you a sample of one of the most important scriptural documents of the Christian heritage, okay? That's the best kept secret on earth. It's what they didn't want you to know. And we're going to tell right here. So stand by for the broadcast. Glad you tuned in. If you want to call in, we have the conference line open. Comments or questions? 712-432-8773. PIN number 179441 pound. That's 712-432-8773. PIN number 179441 pound. Hit star 5. That raises your hand. We got that fixed tonight. And you can also call in on Skype or ask a question on Skype. It's us, Free America Radio, all one word. Free America Radio, not American, America. Okay? And by the way, if you want to hear it on a replay, or you have a friend that is coming in late or no computer, they can always listen on the replay line. 712-432-8774. 712-432-8774. PIN number 179441 pound. And when prompted, hit O pound for the most current broadcast until we do the next one. Or if it's already a couple days earlier, go to the date. Like today's date, it will be keyed in. 5/15/17. 5/15/17 is the code after another replay comes up first. Okay, so that's how it works. And we'd love to hear from you. We do have a master plan, paid forward plan to help our listeners out because we're all toughing it out today financially. And that's with our product that we shared with you a few minutes ago. And our program is called Downline Direct. And our lead share program is geared to help all of our listeners. As we grow, you grow with us, and you can be benefiting from an organization that continues to grow into you in these health programs. So it's something nobody's doing, as far as I know. And we have the Book of Wisdom and the Indo-Germanic Dictionary that is on a PDF, and that's available for any size donation, as well as the Real Da Vinci Code Etymological Dictionary. That's 300 pages. That's a big book, 8.5 by 11, and also the 12 articles on the natural right of man, all on PDF, and for any size donation. Okay, go to contact@freeamericaradio.com and just tell us which book you want, and we're glad to get it to you. And we got a PDF download on the original gospel we're going to play. Go to therealpublicradio.net, therealpublicradio.net, and when you're there, go to the top second line in the middle, Deserts Classics. Click on Deserts Classics and go down to the fifth line. Look for Original Gospel. Click on that. Scroll to the bottom. Free PDF download of the original gospel we'll be sharing with you, starting in chapter 59, I believe, or 61. I think 61. We'll find out when we get there. So, and support our sponsor music. Go to shantyrecords.com. That's shantyrecords.com. And supports grassroots indie music, won't you? So, thanks for doing that. We'll be right back. You did tell your friends, didn't you? Thanks for doing that. And welcome to the Forbidden History series, ladies and gentlemen. What they didn't want you to know, what we tell right here. And I'm your host, Desert Owl, and I'm a bird who sees in the night, and I see too much, and wish I could find that proverbial blue pill, but we're just gonna have to learn how to deal with knowing the truth about our very morbid reality in this very sick world, and we just have to make the most of it. And the good news is there is another world that's hiding here right now. It's in the Great Mystery, and so there's two worlds here, and you can actually have your choice. And one prepares you to go to the as the Native Americans call it, the happy hunting ground beyond. Of course, we call it the Kingdom of Heaven, and it's in the light, right? So, but I want to start out with the great lies of history, and one of the great lies is about the word Antichrist, because the word Antichrist is actually a manufactured term. It's not original to our scriptures, because the term that was being used in our scriptures was the false Mashiach, or the false Messiah, and but they turned that into Antichrist. And but it was even Yochanan John, he said way back then that even now, talking about 2,000 years ago, even now there are many false Mashiachs, which we could then transliterate if we were to use the system that they used for this concept. And he could have said, even now there are many Antichrist, but it was false Mashiach. So, but the reason the New World Order created the Antichrist concept, the con, is because they needed to have this one world, um, you know, leader like the Pope. The Pope would be a classic example, but they also say it could be Prince Charles of England, and all these different ideas. People have been coming up all the time. Much confusion, but so that's how the game is played. They make up these terms. So this it's not in the scripture the way it's that's being propagated today, and that's all I'm trying to make a point of here. It's different from that standpoint. It's false Mashiach, and even then there were many false Mashiachs. Okay, and so that's why it says in the Gospel of Thomas, to do you seek the truth and do seek the seed of light. Of course, they mistranslated that as seek James, but James is Yaakov, and Yaakov means seed of light, so they mistranslated it as a name when it was really an expression, the seed of light, a title, seed of light, because those who are in Yeshua are in the seed of light. So, okay. And one pirate sea of words is the word believe, because I don't use the word belief because it is occultic, and it comes from the Latin. And just on the surface, I always saw how it looks like it reads belie Eve, to belie Eve. But in the Latin, it actually means to give little credit to something. So, and as you can get the picture, when someone says, I believe something, it's like saying, I think so. I think so, rather than saying, I know so. Because I know so is a definite, where believe is a supposition. But believe means to give little credit to something. So when somebody's saying, "Hey, I believe in Jesus," what they really said in the code is, "I give little credit to him." Oh, okay. So I would not use the word believe. It's about knowing, and it is possible to know. You can know that you know that you know. So there you go. Okay. So we're gonna be doing symbols. A lot of the pictures that you see scrolling every program that we do, I haven't really commented much on them, but they're there to get people to think. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and so I'm attempting to get these pictures up there for people to realize that there's something going on in our world, and if one can interpret the symbol, then they're way ahead of the game, because Confucius, he said that signs and symbols rule the world, not law nor diction, not law nor diction. But for right now, I'm going to read from the original gospel, and I'm in chapter 61. I just want to give you a sample of original thought, and to hear because what's going on is we're actually speaking a corrupted form of Aramaic. The capital letters on your driver's license are the modern day perfected Aramaic script, and 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 then when, like, you see that chimera, there's this one graphic image that keeps scrolling by. It's chimera, and it's got the feet of a dog, not the feet of a bear. That's what it says in Revelations. What is it? 13:4, I believe. But it's the feet of a dog. The dogs are priests and the secret societies that do the bidding of their papa, their mama, and the priest. And but the chimera backwards is Aramaic, because what they're implying is that the Aramaic is is the symbolic expression of life. It is a higher Attic form of communication, and the symbols are hieroglyphic, or hierographic, actually is the correct term, hierographic. Glyph is graph, and wow, it's interesting. Glaph, oh yeah. Okay, so another part of the code right there, right down. So anyway, what it is then, our English diction is just a bastardized or corrupted form of the ancient Aramaic. And when they brought it from the east into the west, they simply adjusted the code so that we wouldn't get the picture. Just like fir tree means fire tree, because the fir tree has a turpentine in it, and the pine lights up. It's soft wood, it burns fast, and then you can put on the harder wood and get that going. So the pine tree is the pin tree, the pins. And the alpine up in Switzerland, they call it the alpine. It means all pine. See, these are close to the original, but they just change a few letters, and then you never get the picture. And it's all about getting pictures, all about it. So I'm going to read you a sample, and I read in the original thought. And I'm in chapter 61 of the original gospel, section 8, the ministry of Yochanan the harbinger. And it came to pass when Yochanan, the son of Zechariah, and Elizabeth had finished all of his studies in the Egyptian schools. Now, these Egyptian schools were taught by Hebrews. Okay, there was a couple 100,000 Hebrews living in Egypt. It was multicultural over there. So the schools just happened to be in Egypt, and that's why they call them Egyptian schools. But he went and studied through the mysteries of life. That's why he was a prolific speaker. That's why he was prepared to bring on the Mashiach. And so he studied in the Egyptian schools, that he returned to Hebron, where he abode for a number of days. And then he sought the wilderness and made his home in David's cave, where many years before he was instructed in by the Egyptian sage. Some people called him Hermit of En-Gedi, and others said he is the wild man of the hills. He clothed himself with skins of beasts, and his food was carob and honey and nuts and fruits. And when Yochanan was 30 years old of age, he went to Jerusalem, and in the marketplace he sat in silence 7 dayel. And the common people and the Ammon priests and the scribes and the Pharishees came out in the multitude to see the silent hermit of the hills, but none were bold enough to ask him who he was. But when his silent fast was done, he stood forth in the center of everyone and breathed. You must see and read it for yourself. The king, the royal ruler, has come. The avatars told him the wise men long ago have looked for him. Prepare, true Israel, prepare to meet your royal ruler. And that was all he said. And then he disappeared, and no one knew where he had gone. And there was great unrest through all Jerusalem. And the rulers heard the story of the hermit of the hills. And they sent couriers forth to talk with him, that they might know about the coming king. But they could not find him. And after a number of days he came again into the marketplace, and all the city came to hear him speak, and he breathed. Do not be disturbed, you rulers of the state. The coming king is no antagonist. He seeks no place on any earthly throne. He comes, and the Prince of Peace, the King of Righteousness, said, and love, this kingdom is within the soul, within the mind's eye that sees in the night. The eyes of blood of the earth will see it not, and none can enter but the pure in heart. Prepare, true Israel. Prepare to meet your royal ruler. And again the hermit disappeared. The people strove to follow him, but he had drawn a veil about his form, and men could not see him. A Hebrew feast day came. Jerusalem was filled with Hebrews, and proselytes from every part of Palestine. Yochanan stood in the temple court and breathed, "Prepare, true Israel, prepare to meet your royal ruler. It is true throughout all time. You have lived in the closing of your eyes. The poor cry in your streets, and you do not regard them. Your neighbors, who are they? You have defrauded friend and foe alike. You pay homage to Allaheb with your voice and your lip, and your hearts are far away and set on golden ornaments. Your priests have bound upon the people burdens far too great to bear. They live in ease upon the hard-earned wages of the poor. Your lawyers, doctors, scribes are useless, cumberers of the ground. They are but tumors on the body of the state. They do not work, neither do they spin. And yet they consume the profits of your markets of trade. Your rulers are adulterers, extortioners, and thieves, regarding not the rights of any blood of the earth. And those robbers ply their craft in the sacred halls. The holy temple you have sold to thieves. Their dens are the sacred places, set apart for prayer. Give ear, you people of Jerusalem. Reform, return from your blind ways, or Yahweh will turn from you, and heathen from far will come, and what is left of all your honor and your fame will pass in one short hour. Prepare, Jerusalem, prepare to meet your royal ruler." And he said no more, and he left the court, and no one saw him go. The priests, the doctors, and the scribes were all in a rage. And they sought for Yochanan, intent to do him harm, but they could not find him. The common people stood in his defense, and they said, "The hermit speaks the truth." And then the Amen priests, the doctors, and the scribes were very afraid, and they said no more, and they hid themselves away. Okay, and tomorrow I'll do chapter 62, and you just got a read from the original gospel. Let me just tell my associate I'm on a broadcast here, so stand by. Maybe he'll call in. Okay, just send him a text. We're going to see if you get an answer. I got pegged the history of the church for the next read. Okay, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that. And trying to get my trucking friend out there on the road to get on with me and ask questions. He's asking me another question here. Hang on. He's a good supporter of our network. Okay, so the history of the church, and we're plowing through a little bit of the Introduction. I don't really think I need to read that introduction. I like to get to the meat of things here. So let's just dive right in. We're in chapter 1, Christ and his contemporaries. So then 2, Yaakov. Okay, so I'm going to back up here. And to him, when the latter appeared to Yaakov, a man in the shape, in a man's shape, the Holy Scripture again refers as Elohei. When he said to Yaakov, no longer will your name be Yaakov, but Yisrael will be your title. For you have prevailed with Yahweh. Then too, Yaakov called the name of that place the Forum of Yahweh, breathing. For I saw Elohim face to face, and my life was spared. It is clearly not permissible to regard the recorded theophanies as visitations by subordinate angels and ministers of Elohim, for whenever one of these appears in earthly form, Scripture makes no secret of the fact, but explicitly declares they are called not God or Lord, but royal messengers, as can easily be proved by any number of instances. The title which Moses, successor Yeshua, gave to him as leader of the royal messengers and the high messengers and of the celestial powers, and as the power and wisdom of the Father, entrusted with the second place in the kingship and rule over all things, was commander-in-chief of the army of Yahweh. Yet Yeshua, like the others, saw him only in earthly form and shape. Here is the passage. When Yeshua was in Jericho, he raised his eyes and saw a blood of the earth standing facing him, his sword drawn in his hand. Yeshua went up to him and breathed, are you for us or for our opponents? And he replied, it is as commander-in-chief of the army of Yahweh that I have now come. Then Yeshua fell face downward onto the ground and asked him, Mother Star, what do you command your servant? And commander-in-chief of Yahweh replied, take your sandals off your feet. The place where you are standing is pure ground. Here too you will gather from the actual words, original thought for word is burning swords of fire, that this was the very character who had instructed Moses. For in his case, too, the burning swords of fire of Scripture are the same. When Yahweh saw that he was coming near to see, he called out to him from the burning tree, Moshe El. He replied, what is it? And Yahweh replied, do not come this way. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you are standing is pure ground. Then the eye continued, I am the Elohim of your father, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yishak, and the Elohim of Yaakov. That this is in truth a being living and subsisting before the world, who assisted the great Father and all Elohim of the universe in the fashioning of all created things, named the word of Elohim, or the symbol of Elohim, and wise judgment, and enlightenment. The evidence goes beyond the proofs given above. One may give ear to it from the character of wisdom herself, who by the mouth of Solomon initiates us most fully into her secret. I, wisdom, have made counsel my dwelling. I have invoked knowledge and thought. By me kings rule, and princes decree justice. By me the great achieve greatness, and monarchs by me are masters of the earth. To this she adds, Elohim created me, the beginning of his ways for his works. Before the time began, he established me in the beginning, before he made the earth, before the springs of water were issued forth, before the mountains were fixed in place, and before all hills he engendered me. When he prepared the cosmos, I was at his side. When he made safe the springs under the sky, I was with him, setting them in order. I was she in whom he delighted every day, and I rejoiced before him at every time. When the eye rejoiced that I had finished the world, he had finished the world. Such is, in outline, are the proofs that the divine word pre-existed and showed himself to some, if not to all. Why he was not preached long ago, as he is now, to all blood of the earth and to every nation, what follows will make clear. It was impossible for the teaching of the Mashiach, Christ, in all its wisdom and virtue to be grasped by the earthly race in the former state, and the very beginning after the original life of the Baruch, the blessedness. The first man disregarded the divine command and fell into this mortal transitory state, receiving this earth with its curse in place of the former heavenly delights. And I'll hold it right there, and I'm going to stretch my voice. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. By the way, I've discovered a great book. It's called The Kolbrin. Originally the Kolbrian, but the Kolbrin is the Bible of Joseph of Arimathea, the great uncle of Yeshua. Highly recommend you get a copy. And you can find it on Amazon, Kolbrin. But I've identified it as the very book of Joseph of Arimathea by virtue of reading the traditions of Glastonbury. And not only that, but I've already done a transliteration of the Book of Wisdom based on the Indo-Germanic mother tongue, also supported by a dictionary on the Indo-Germanic, and so that's available on PDF, any size donation. Okay, that's go to contact@freeamericaradio.com, contact@freeamericaradio.com for a PayPal donation and request, or just go to therealpublicradio.net, therealpublicradio.net, and I'll be glad to get you that copy. Okay, so haven't seen anything yet. Okay, until you get the dictionary. So go check it out. That's another book review this evening. Okay, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for indulging me. I've got to pace myself. My voice is wearing out at age 61, coming at the end of the month here. I'll be 61. If we add the year in the womb, which is the way the ancients did, then I'll be 62. So I've got the book of Philo. I started reading it. I want to get back into it. I'm trying to find a rhythm, the right way to open up every day, and I do have some guests that'll be coming on, and we'll be expanding the programming, and we're trying to ramp up my technology right now, and so we're needing 2 more pieces of equipment, so donation is needed in order to get this equipment so that we can have a perfect broadcast. So we're making our books available. Okay, so in the beginning here on the creation in Philo, and I've referred to Philo's book. I did a review on it, so just go back to an earlier segment and you'll hear about Philo. Okay, you just got to follow our series. But he was a friend of Yeshua. He saved his life in the temple one day, as well as we see in the original gospel. You'll be hearing about it as we go into that read. But I want to I'm trying to do a chapter a day on the a section, not a well, that's a section. And because Philo is the best, I'll tell you, it's 1,000 pages. And you can go to Christian Book Distributors, cbd.com, Christian Book Distributors, and look for Philo, Philo, and you can get it for about $12, I think. So we're continuing on. For some men, admiring the world itself rather than the creator of the world have represented it as existing without any maker and eternal. Let me get a little more light here. Just a minute. And as impiously as falsely have represented Aleph Hay as existing in a state of complete inactivity, while it would have been right, on the other hand, to marvel at the might of Aleph Hay as the creator and the mother father of all, and to admire the world in a degree not exceeding the bounds of moderation. But Moses, who had early reached the very summits of philosophy, and there's a footnote on that. This is in accordance with the description of him in our scriptures, where he is represented as being learned in the wisdom of the Egyptians. And who had learnt from the oracles of Aleph Hay, the most numerous and important of the principles of nature, was well aware that it is indispensable that in all existing things there must be an active cause and a passive subject, and that the active cause is the intellect of the universe, thoroughly unadulterated and thoroughly unmixed, superior to virtue and superior to science, superior even to abstract good or abstract beauty. Very often the word good is supplementing the word perfection. While the passive subject is something inanimate and incapable of motion by any intrinsic power of its own, but having been set in motion and fashioned and endowed with life by the intellect, became transformed into the most perfect work. This world, and those who describe it as being uncreated do without being aware of it, cut off the most useful and necessary of all the qualities which tend to produce piety, namely providence. For reason proves that the Father and Creator has a care for that which has been created. For a father is anxious for the life of his little ones. And a workman aims at the duration of his works and employs every device imaginable to ward off everything that is pernicious or injurious, and is desirous by every means in his power to provide everything which is useful or profitable for them. But with regard to that which has not been created, there is no feeling of interest as if it were his own in the breast of him who has not created it. It is then a pernicious doctrine, one for which no one could contend, to establish a system in this world, such as anarchy is in a city, so that it should have no superintendent or regulator or Yud-K, judge, by whom everything must be managed and governed. But the great Moshe'el, thinking that this thing which has not been uncreated is as alien as possible from that which is visible before our eyes, for everything which is the subject of our senses exists in birth and in changes, and is not always in the same condition, has attributed eternity to that which is invisible and discerned only by our intellect as a kinsman and a brother, while that of which is less object of our eternal senses he had predicated generation as an appropriate description. Since then, this world is visible and the object of our external senses, as it follows of necessity that it must have been created, on which account it was not without a wise purpose that he recorded its creation, giving a very venerable account of Aleph Hey. I'll do one more. And he says that the world was made in 6 days, not because the Creator stood in need of a length of time. And it meant great ages, of course, not the 24-hour periods. These were 6 great ages, I need to add. For it is natural that Aleph Hey should do everything in great order, not merely by uttering an instruction, but even thinking of it, but because the things created require arrangement through time, and number is akin to arrangement, and all numbers, 6 is by the laws of nature the most productive for all the numbers. And by the way, 6 is synonymous with the word sex. Okay, so go figure. And 666 is the number of a star. From the unit upwards, it is the first perfect one, being made equal to its parts and being made complete by them, the number 3 having half of it, and the number 2 a third of it, and the unit 1 a sixth of it. And so to say, it is formed so to be both male and female, and is made up of the power of both natures, for in existing things the odd number is the male and the even number is the female. Well, that's noteworthy. Here, let me do an underline on that. Odd number, the even number, the odd number is the male. Okay. I'm trying to do an index of this great work, and I've got a long way to go, but I did start the index for this book. I'm amazed that nobody has done that. Accordingly, the odd number, the first is the number 3, and of even numbers, the first is 2, and the 2 numbers multiplied together make 6. And it was fitting, therefore, that the world, being the most perfect of created things, should be made according to the perfect number, namely 6, and as it was to have in it the cause of both, which arise from the combination that it should be formed according to a mixed number, the first combination of odd and even numbers, since it was to embrace the character both of the male who sows the seed and the female who receives it. And he allotted each of the 6 days to one of the portions of the whole, taking out the first day, which he does not even call the first day, that it may not be numbered with the others, but entitling it 1, he names it rightly, perceiving it and ascribing to it the nature of an appellation of the limit. And 1, as you hear, have a W sound, but you don't see the W. It was originally, in the original thought, would be the V in front of it, the von, V-O-N, vonay, V-O-N-A-Y, vonay, meaning one eye. That's what it would have meant, the one I. So, okay, I'm going to take a break real quick and be right back. And we do take comments and questions, and love to have you on our conference line. Those on the conference line, *5 does raise your hand. And this is, we are therealpublicradio.net, okay? We're grassroots all the way, and we'd love to hear from our listeners. So trying to get a caller-generated program, and we can talk about anything. We're not just able to talk about the scriptures, but we can talk about the political scene today and what's going on. I'd love to hear from you. Very often our listeners know a few things and love to share it. I've got something actually that's just come up, and I've got to attend to that. So I was going to start doing the symbols, but I think I'll come right out the gate tomorrow and do the symbols, signs and symbols. Okay, so I apologize, but I need to. Tomorrow night, by the way, before we do signs and symbols, we're going to be opening with Bill Hughes and the Secret Terrorists. And I used to interview Bill on Wednesday evenings, actually, 8 p.m. I believe it was. So we're going back to the same time, same place. And Bill talks about the Jesuits and the sinking of the Titanic and how it all relates to banking. He's one amazing researcher. So we'll be starting tomorrow at 8 with the Secret Terrorist and Bill Hughes. And I'll be following with signs and symbols. Okay, so I want to thank you for tuning in. And we're still ramping up the broadcast, trying to make it interactive. Please tell your friends. And you can, even if you just give us a heads up, give us a radio check. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Desert Al, thanking you for tuning in and telling me if you want to know the future, just look for the Forbidden History. I'll see you.
Stanna, han är jag.